G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Wednesday, December 14th. So you can see this particular day, I'll just bring it up here, through the pre-market we really were pushing down. If you look on the dailies, a couple of really good compact red candles really showing that we're in a bit of a downtrend at the moment. So started today very much with the perception we wanted to head down. Start off with, we did pop up, turn around at this grey power point, then as soon as we pushed down real heavily here, I thought it was really evident that the market was heading down, so great opportunities to start looking for sells. So once it did push down heavy like that, hard to take advantage of anything like that. That's a bit unforeseen. This first power point here is a pop back area. I mean, it quite often shows quite good value. You can see it nearly pushed through the power point, but it held, especially after such a rapid push down. A quick snap pullback, even look to watch other markets and then look for it to push in another direction and then sell. So that was a great opportunity for the day. Then pushing down lower, had another bit of a pullback here. So at this stage here, this area here, looking for the market to pull back, that 6-7 points that I talk about, then get some pressure to the downside and look to sell again, get a 5-minute sell or or a fade going with a 5-minute sell or something like that. So that's the kind of thing you want to be looking for in this area, and definitely going with the trend and going with the sellers. In the end, it didn't quite pop back enough and get the 5-minute sell, but anything around this area here, it's not showing up at the moment. We did have a yesterday's low around this area here, so when this market popped up here, there was one of these new terminator trade entries, so I had a power point sitting up here, so I thought this to sell just before the power point had great opportunity as well. You got yesterday's low holding the market down, and definitely around with the sellers around with the trend happening on the downside. From there, the market pushed down and continued to go and make lower lows. We're down approaching that magical 1200 mark. Looked like the market want to have a bit of a go of it, but I guess as they started to get down around there, they got a bit spooked, and from there we started to head back up. So we started approaching lunchtime. So at this particular area here, you've got to kind of make a decision and decide what you're looking for. So I guess if it starts to break up and breaking like these sort of resistant areas here, that's the first time you're really going to look for any buyers. So as soon as I guess this yellow, once it starts breaking up above that, that's an opportunity to look for buyers and maybe some pullbacks up here. But until then, you really want to try and stick with the trend. Difficult through this period here. You can see all it's really doing is just kind of popping up, and it's not pushing through these power points with any aggression. So even though the buyers had a little bit of control here, definitely the sellers are in charge of the market. So you've got to try and keep with the overall view of what the day is doing. We started to come up with this yellow here, so this is where you think maybe the buyers want to come in and have a go, but in the end they didn't really push through that area. Spun back around and pushed down through this purple here, and then it's a little bit evident that the sellers were starting to come back. Some decent red candles coming in through here. Then from here we pushed down, turned around to that grey, and then popped up and hit that green power point there. So we started to hit a bit of a range here. Pretty much for the rest of the afternoon, very sideways here, so tough to get in on any action. I guess what we really wanted to do is pop up a little bit higher, test this area, then push down again to the downside and show us that the sellers are hanging around, and maybe go with the power fade to the downside or something like that. But when it's ranging between power points like this, even though it looks, all these power points look good, and there's opportunities to take advantage of those, it's kind of really difficult, and at any stage just waiting for it to break out either way to give us indication of what the market wants to do. But nothing really eventuated. We did have a 5-minute fade come up around here, so the fade worked quite well, but once again, because of the closeness to the low and a few things like that, a little bit of a tough one to take, but not a bad area. And then we eventually pushed through the close. So a bit of an awkward day, I suppose you'd say. It never really gave many opportunities, and a lot of this kind of sideways jagged movement. But sometimes you get days like those. If you have to sit on your hands for a day in these kind of situations, so be it. That's what makes a really good trader. If you wait for your opportunities and wait till you get those good areas. So looking at the 5-minute chart, so it's pushing down here. So it's around here where we got this pullback. This is where I'm looking for a 5-minute sell. But in the end, the sell signal came up a little bit too close to the lows, so nothing eventuated. So a bit of a higher pullback there, then head down. So that was probably one of the better opportunities of the day. When you push down and go with the sellers, that first pullback, even though there's a bit of a pullback here, but that's very early. This first decent pullback, this is a great chance or opportunity to take advantage of the sellers, and where you want to be looking. and then we pushed down lower. Then we spun the market around, started to head up. You can see it started to break this area here. So you got to be looking at resistance and support areas. So this is a bit of a shoulder. So keeping an eye on whether the market wants to break up through that. So once it did, looking for the push up, get some pressure, then a pullback. In the end, there was no pressure. Once again, spun round back round to the downside. So again, we're looking for sells in this area here. This is where this 5 minute fade came up. So a little bit messy in the fact that it's quite some extended candles. Sorry about that, excuse the dog. But like I was saying, so this afternoon here, look at it, very sloppy, very jagged and extended candles that are going nowhere. So you can see this area here, very messy and not really best for trading. So probably the morning was definitely opportunities up around here, and then maybe more so in this kind of down period here. Well, that's the kind of thing you want to be looking for. If you don't take these 5 minute trades, definitely use the 5 minute charts as to view, the basic areas or the basic trading areas you want to look to, because these 5 minute charts offer a lot less noise than what the 1 minute charts bring. So sometimes it's easy to pick up on areas, and then you get your specific entry on the 1 minute charts. I mean, that's certainly the way I like to approach my trading anyway. So that's a wrap up for the day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.